Now, next code, I'll be making use of silver to gold dot SQL. Okay. Oh, it went as a folder. Let me delete that. Silver to gold dot SQL. Okay. I'll bring the code. Same thing. I did not do any other thing. I created. Okay. Everything is there. Let me remove this since we already created this. Okay. Created a procedure. Now I'm calling everything. Now, first, what I'm creating a session. If you want to, now you can create a session like this also. For example, showing for that particular session how to create. I've shown that from snowpark.spark import session. How we import a PySpark session in the same way I'm importing a session, and then I'm creating my SQL logic. Now here, one main thing is we have to create a update statement and insert columns also, because your Snowpark will not follow the star what we followed in our PySpark. It won't understand. So for that, dynamically also I'm creating my update statements, insert statements, the same way how you saw with respect to on expression, the same way that I'm creating here. Okay. For example, to show that, let me do one thing. I'll show this particular code here. Now, if you see here, I've created my table. There's already a table and this particular data is there. This is new data that is coming. Now I need to do SCD1. So for that, this is our Snowpark SCD where we have created one temp table. We are reading our source into temp table. On clause, the same way how we did our PySpark, we are created dynamic update. I need to have remaining apart from that any IDs, all whatever the other columns are there, I need to get that and create a update columns. So I just took, if columns are not in primary keys from source.columns, you take that particular columns and create an update. Similarly, all the columns from insert, for insert, I want all the columns from source.columns, whatever you have, you bring that all the columns and then you create one insert dynamically. Then you are passing that update here, insert here, values here. How it goes? It goes here, update columns, whatever the columns are required, source.name column, and at the target, whatever is required, that will come, and that is being creating like this dynamically. Same thing, once you execute, SCD will be executing, but instead of star, we have to add two more things, that is update and insert. That's what I have done under this particular store procedure. Any doubt in this store procedure? The functionality remains the same. Only thing is we have added two more things. That is one update columns and insert and values. Any doubt in this? Are we good?
Yep, we're good.
Okay. Then once everything is done, I don't want my source temp table, what I have created. I'm just dropping that. Now same refresh date, what we created, that dim column I have created. Now I'm going and applying my required column, whatever is there, I'm applying that and I'm creating my fact tables. Everything is there. Now what I did, I put everything that into one function, and at the end, I'm creating one function. I'm calling this refresh, this everything as one function, and this handler has been called under this particular store procedure. Now, any doubt in this? Okay. Now, let's go and execute this one by one. Okay. We'll come here. I'll go and now when you come here, now whenever you put a $, everything will be in the form of red color. It will show like this. I'll go and I've created this particular store procedure. Let me run. I've created a store procedure. Okay. Now next, my store procedure is this particular store procedure, that is bronze to silver. I went and I created this bronze to silver store procedure. Now I went and created this gold to silver to gold. Now we created our store procedure. Is our work done? Do you feel the tables have been created? We created our store procedure. If you come here and see schema, we see bronze, we see table, I have a table, data. I don't have any data. Why?
We haven't run that query.
Yeah. Now we need to call our store procedure. Now instead of directly calling, I'll make use of something as task. Okay. I'll bring my code and I'll explain you what I'm doing. Now we created our jobs here in the form of task. Now using SQL, I'm creating one task. I'll give my storage name. How it needs to run? Using this particular compute, that this is a particular compute that is running. I gave this particular compute name. And if I want to schedule, I'll use something cron expression and I've scheduled this particular task. How? Day, month, any month of a day, hour or minute. That is how your cron expression is being passed. And I'm doing that. And under this particular store procedure, under this particular task, I will call my first store procedure that is copying all my data into bronze. Now this is my first task I've created. Now after this task, I need to call my bronze. So I'll create one more task and I'll say, instead of scheduling this, I'll say after. So after this particular copy into bronze, this particular task should run and this task is executed. Now after my bronze, this particular call procedure should go and this will be executed. Now once you execute this particular task, what happens? These tasks are nothing but are used for orchestration inside your Snowflake. If you come here and if you see, everything is there, that task has been created, but all are in the suspended state. Now first if you go and I run resume, at this particular schedule time, it will go and automatically run this particular task. But for now, let me run manually and I resume this particular task and I want to execute manually. So I'll execute my main task. Now this is my parent task. These are my child tasks. Once I execute this, my child task will also get executed since those are in a resume state. Now if you come here, if you see here, those are in a resume state. Now I have not started my parent task because I don't want to schedule it. Since these are dependent on my parent task, it will not execute unless my parent has been executed. Okay. Manually, I'll go and execute that one particular task. That is bronze. That is a main task. Once I execute, there is something called as task history here. I'll click on that. Your task execution has started. If you come and click on that, it is executing your task. Let it run. Now, it went to my S3, brought that all data, copied into my table. Now, once this is completed, my next task will run. That is running this particular bronze to silver. Everything is run. Now, once this is run, then your last task will run. That is silver to this. Now, if you come and refresh your data, all the data which was there, which was you required, all the data has come into my Snowflake table. Now, if you go and see other tables, that is gold. Under this, you have all the tables, dim. If you click on dim, all the data from dim card has come, customer has come, everything has come here. Now I did not do anything. All I did was run my code. Whatever I have written inside my Python Snowpark code, that is executed using Snowflake. Now, if you're having 20% of code, now you don't need to go and use PySpark. You can directly come and make use of that functionality and run this. If you come back here and go to something called as history, come here. And if you see here, now since it is running as a store procedure, it is not showing, but in the back end, what it goes and bring everything. It will convert that into something Python and it has executed that. That's how your Snowflake is working with Snowpark or PySpark.